Hello children, how are you all? I hope you all are doing very well and just staying safe at home. So class 4, today we'll just revise the exercises that we did in the previous video or I gave you in the previous assignment. Okay, so that is exercise of lesson number, chapter number 3, that is calendar and timeline. So the first question of page number 29. Page number 29, the first question was exercise was question number 1, tick the best option. Tick the best option. You just have to check the answers whether it is correct or not. If it is correct, then it's okay. If it is not correct, then you have to correct it. First is a timeline puts dash and dash in the right order. A timeline puts what in the right order? Dates and solar calendar, names and events, dates and events, and tools and seeds. So the correct answer is dates and events. Timeline puts dates and events in the correct order. Then number 2 is the first month of Saka year, Saka calendar. The first month of the Saka calendar, the Saka year is what? Posh, Chaitra, Falgun or Ashad. So it is Chaitra, Chaitra. And the first month of Gregorian calendar is January. Number 3 is a timeline can cover up to what? 3 centuries, a few decades, some days or thousands of years. Yes, timeline can cover up to thousands of years. Thousands of years. The number D is CE stands for. The full form of CE is what? Correct event, common era, college era or cool evening. The correct answer is common era. CE stands for common era. Then number 5th is the Indian calendar is named after a what? A king, a planet, Julius Caesar or a British king. Yes, it is named after a Indian calendar is named after a king. And your second question is question number 2 is fill in the blanks. Fill in the blanks. Number A is the two types of European calendars. The two types of European calendars are, one is Julian and the other is Gregorian. These are the two types of European calendars. Then number B is the dash calendar is used in India. Which calendar is used in India? It is Saka calendar. Saka calendar is used in India. Then both Saka and Gregorian calendars have dash days. How many days a Gregorian and a Saka calendar have? 365 or 366 days. Number D is the process of putting events in the right order. When we put the events in the right order, this process is called sequencing. 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 Okay. Then your question number 3 is write true or false. Write true or false. So the first one is Saka calendar is not divided into months. The Saka calendar, is it not divided into months? No, it is divided into months. So it is false. Number B is Anno Domini is a Sanskrit term for AD. Is Anno Domini a Sanskrit term for AD? No, it is not a Sanskrit term for AD. So this one is also false. Then is number C. To know the year in Saka calendar. If you want to know the year in a Saka calendar, one can subtract 78 years from Gregorian calendar. Yes, from Gregorian calendar, if we subtract 78, then we can get the the year in Saka calendar. So this is true. Then comes the D1. BC stands for behind Christ. Is the BC stands for behind Christ? No, it stands for before Christ. So this one is false. Then comes number E. Not all the dates in a timeline are in order of events. In a timeline, the dates, they are not according to the order of events. They're not in order of events. So this one is also false because they are in the order of events. In a timeline, all the dates are in the order of events. Then come now question number 4, that is match the column. We don't have to match the column, we will write the answers only. We will match those answers in book. Number 1 is BCE. So BCE, birth of Jesus Christ? No. Used all over the world? No. Before Common Era? Yes. BCE stands for Before Common Era. Before Common Era. Number 2 is, number B, timeline. Timeline is what? Birth of Jesus Christ? No. Used all over the world? No. Chronological order. Chronological order means sequencing. In a sequencing, so timeline is based on sequencing. So this one, chronological order. Then comes number C, 1 CE. Birth of Jesus Christ? Yes. 1 CE means this is the birth. This here is the birth of Jesus Christ. Then comes number D, Saka calendar. Saka calendar used all over the world or begins with Chaitra? It begins with Chaitra. So Saka calendar begins with Chaitra. And the last one is Gregorian calendar, used all over the world. All over the world. Okay, so these exercises we have done I've written on the blackboard, whiteboard. You can write. If you have done anything wrong, you can correct it. Okay. So class, today we are going to start chapter number 5, that is motions of the earth. So let's start. Let's explore. There is a activity like take a tennis ball. You have to take a tennis ball, or you can say top. You must see seen a top. If you don't have a tennis ball, you can take a top also. Now after spin them. If you will spin, what will happen? What will you see? You will see that it spins on imaginary axis. On imaginary axis. Axis means on which a top or thing rotates. No? That is called an axis, and imaginary means that we cannot see. We can only imagine it. So an axis cannot be seen. It cannot be seen. It is an invisible line. It is a line which is invisible, around which an object rotates or spins. Around which an object rotates or spins. Like you can see this. This is an imaginary axis around which a body rotates or it spins. So our earth also rotates on its imaginary axis. You can see this is our earth, and it also rotates rotates around its axis. Okay, or rotates on its axis. Now each planet in our solar system rotates on its own axis. Each planet has it rotates on its own axis, and therefore every planet have a north pole and a south pole. Every planet have a north pole and south pole. Okay, now these are the points where the axis and the planet surface meet. These are those points where the axis and this is the axis and surface meets here. Axis and surface meets here also. If it comes down, so it meets with the axis. So at this point, those poles and the surface and the axis meets. Now some planets have straight up and down axis, and some have a tilt. Now some have a perpendicular axis like this. This is perpendicular axis. This is straight up and down axis. Okay, but some axes are not straight. They are tilted like this. Okay, this is called tilted axis because this is not straight. This is slanted. So this is called a tilted axis. Now the angle of the axial tilt for each planet differs. Now for every planet, like this is straight, so angle will be different here, and this one is tilted, and it have different angles. Now the Earth's axial tilt is 23.5 degree. The Earth's axial tilt. Earth's axial tilt. The angle Earth's axial tilt. Angle of Angle of Earth's axial tilt is how much? 23 half degree. Okay, this much is 23 half degree to the plane of orbit. It is angle of Earth's axial tilt to the plane of orbit. Orbit is the path where the planets move, where the planets rotates. Okay. Now, Earth's axis point towards the Polaris or the North Star. Now, the Earth's axis, it points towards the Polaris. Polaris means the North Pole, North Star. It point towards the North Star. Now, Polaris, it will not always be the North Star. It is also written here that it will always not be the North Star, and the Earth, it moves slowly. Okay, the Earth is slowly moving away from the Polaris. The Earth is moving slowly from the Polaris. So it would take how much time? 13,000 years to 13,000 years it will take for it to point towards the North Star, or you can say Vega, a new North Star. So that is why here is said that Polaris, it will not always be the North Star. Okay, then second comes movements of the Earth. Now, the Earth has two major motions. You all know that, you must have studied in your previous classes also. There are two motions of the Earth. Movements of the Earth. There are two major movements of the Earth. What are they? Number one is rotation, and number two is revolution. You all know what is rotation and what is revolution. Now, what is rotation? Rotation means the spinning of the Earth on its axis is called rotation. Now, first of all, it moves on its axis like the top mentioned. Like I mentioned, I told you about the top, that a top rotates on its axis. Okay, so that Earth also it moves on its axis, which is called rotation. Okay, and the movement of the Earth around the sun, when the Earth move around the sun on its orbit, not axis, on its orbit, on its path, then it is called revolution. Now we will study about rotation and revolution one by one. So the first one is rotation. Now, what is rotation? Rotation is the spinning of the Earth on its axis. When the Earth spins on its axis, it is called rotation. This movement of the Earth is called rotation. Now, the Earth always rotates from west to east on its tilted axis. See, the axis is tilted and it moves from west to east. Okay, it always moves from west to east on its tilted axis. Okay, west to east. So now it takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. Just to complete one rotation, one spinning of the Earth, you can say, when it spins, Earth spins on its axis, it takes 24 hours to complete one rotation. Okay. Now it rotates counterclockwise as seen from above the Earth's north pole. If we see from above the north, Earth's north pole, then what type of rotation is there? It rotates counterclockwise. When we see the Earth rotation from above the Earth's north pole, the direction will be anti-clockwise. Okay, counterclockwise means anti-clockwise, means like the clock moves like this, not like this, just opposite to that, like this, anti-clockwise. Okay, west to east. So this much for today. We will do the rest of the topics in the next video. Till then, bye bye, take care. Thank you.